Hi Flosstube, this is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner, and I'm here to do a quick update. I'm hoping just about 10 or 15 minutes. I've only got a few things to show you. So first off, I want to thank Bev. She has commented on most of my videos, and I've really appreciated that. It's just when I get the little notice that there's a comment, it's really, you know, it's like sunshine on a cloudy day. It just brightens me up, and I really want to thank you for that, Bev. You're really sweet. So the first thing I want to show you is I restarted the Haid Mystery Sal. I didn't do much, but I did get the whole flower motif done, and I just really love it. Like, honestly, I would stitch this flower motif and maybe make it an ornament or something. I just think it's really, I really like it. So here we go. That's all I've done on it. And I wanted you guys to see a size comparison because I never realized how much of a difference there was in size between a 14 and an 18 Aida. But here we go. So this is 14 and this is 18. And you can see the 14 is quite a bit bigger. Here's the 18. I just love how that's stitched up. I don't know what I'm going to do with this 14 count because it's so big. Anything I stitch on it would be huge. But I love the dye work that Bob did. Next up is Granny is No Square. I'm not actually sure if I've worked on this since I last updated you, but I might have, so I thought I would just pop in a quick update. So next thing to do is that navy blue border on the inside, and then I want to outline each of the blocks so that it's like filling it in. I think that would be really enjoyable, and I want to see it come together like that, so I'm looking forward to that. My next whip that I want to show you is my March cottage. I'm a little worried I'm not going to finish this in time considering I've got 3 days and a lot to do. So here's where we're at. I need to finish this bottom border, this design up here, and the top border. So you can see that in this picture. There's still a lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it. But if this does go into April, just a couple days into April, that's okay. And then I'll start the April cottage right after that. I try to take this to work and work on it during my lunch break is what I've been doing this past week. So that's my plan with the April cottage as well. Next up is a new start. This is the last piece I've worked on since I talked to you guys last. And it is the Yuletide Garden Labyrinth by Caroline Manning. It's a Sal. It started Friday, I believe, and I started it pretty quickly after that because it really spoke to me. And here's where I'm at on it. So this first part goes down to here, and it runs the whole length of the whole width. So it'll come to about right over here or something like that. So it's about 30 rows down, but the entire width. And she says that's her plan for this Sal. I think it's an 8-month Sal. And I love Christmas. I love Christmas designs, so I'm hoping to actually stay caught up with this one. Which brings me to, that's the last of my whips to show you. 4 minutes in, and I finished with my whips. I want to talk to you about how I'm now doing my rotation because I've completely changed it. So right now, I'm just calling it the Randomizer challenge or rotation. So what I currently have are 3 whips that I want to work on, most especially for the rest of this month, so the next 3 days. So what I did is I put them on little index cards. The 3 of them, I wrote their names, and I put them in this leftover takeout container from wonton soup. But so they're in there. And then I have another container that I named the Time Randomizer, And so in 15-minute increments starting from 30, so 30, 45, an hour, hour 15, hour and a half, I think is where I stopped. I have random time increments. And this is to go with, I'm trying to get more fit, like work on my fitness and just take more care of my body and stuff like that. And so I actually use my Fitbit more. I put it on this way so that it's here. I find it bothers me less that way, but I never see other people do that. So I don't know, maybe I'm a weirdo, whatever. But so what my plan is I calculated that it takes me 5 minutes to make a loop of my apartment complex. And so, and that's about 500 steps is what I think I calculated last night. And so what I intend to do is go to random.org, and I wanted to do this with you guys this night before I start. And I put in 1 through 10, and that indicates how many times I'm going to go walk around my apartment complex. So here's the randomizer, 1 through 10, and I'm going to generate that. So 5. That'll take me about 25 minutes to 30 minutes. And so when I'm done with that, I come and I pick a random time from the time bucket. So I'm also going to do that with you guys. So the first time is 45 minutes. So I then go and pick a project from my project bucket. And so that is Yuletide. So after I walk around the apartment complex 5 times, I'm going to come back and I'm going to stitch on Yuletide for 45 minutes. And then I will do that again. I will regenerate a number, go take another walk, come back, redraw a project. It could be Yuletide again, or it could be something else. And I am going to do that until I'm ready for bed, or, you know, something else comes up. I decide to go to dinner or something like that. I have a third bucket, and these are SALs that are to be added. So I picked 3 projects that I wanted to concentrate on for the rest of the month. Yuletide, the monthly cottage, and then my President's Challenge that I talked about last week, or last update. And I have that on a Q-snap right here. That's all I've done. George Washington will go right here. And so I'm not so concerned about finishing George Washington before the end of the month, but I do want to get that project started. And I have the book lined up. It's called Washington A Life, I believe. And it's a chunker. It's like 1,000 pages, about 42 hours on Audible. I listen to things at double speed, so it'll take me about 21 hours to listen to the book. So that's how long I will spend on this project before either it goes out of rotation or I put the next president in. And so once I finish stitching on George Washington, my plan is to continue along the border until the book is done and I move on to the next president. That's my plan for the project. But, so as projects go out of here, like I catch up on SALs or I finish projects or something like that, I have another container over here of SALs to be added because I'm in so many of them that, I don't know, like I'm falling behind, obviously. I don't think there's any catching up at this point, but I'll just put one more in as something finishes in here or anything like that. And I just want to try this rotation style out, see if it works. If it doesn't, then I'll do something else. If it does, that's great. And yeah, so that's my plan. I have one other thing I wanted to talk about quickly, and that is I'm in the group or event Stitch a Million or a Million Stitch, something like that, for cross stitch. It's fun. Oh my gosh, I'm in so many cross stitching groups. It's hard to keep up. No, the Ultimate Cross Stitch group. That's the one. And in it, the goal is for all the members to stitch 1,000,000 stitches by April 9th, I believe. And so I've done about 4,200 stitches since it started March 6th, which I'm pretty proud of myself, actually. That's, I believe, above my average. So I'm pretty happy about that. But today I was like sitting at work, working and thinking, and I was like, what if I try to stitch 1,000,000 stitches? Like, I'm still pretty young, so 1,000,000 stitches in my lifetime, that should be easily doable. So I wanted to say before I turn 50, so I'm, my 29th birthday is in July, so that gives me about 21 years to stitch 1,000,000 stitches. Okay, this is ridiculous. I'm probably going to abandon this at some point, but I want to say that I'm going to start it. So my best friend gave me this journal for Christmas, and I couldn't figure out what to do with it because it's beautiful, but I don't really use like just blank paper, and I wanted it to be for something special. So I decided to make this my stitching counting journal, and so I'll start every month. I'll start a new page, I'll write it, then the day, the project, number, stitches, like that, and keep track of that. And hopefully someday, within the next 20 years, I will have reached 1,000,000 stitches, and I can look back and see what projects I worked on as I got there. I mean, it's a completely ridiculous idea. I might create like my own Facebook group to track my own progress, or just something. I don't even know. But I'm a goal-orientated person, and so having these badges and the goals to stitch on this Stitch a Million event that's happening with the Ultimate Cross Stitching group has actually really helped motivate me, and I think that's why I've reached as many stitches as I have. So I kind of wanted that once the event is over, I wanted to have other goals to reach and stitch. And being a numbers person, I majored in accounting. I just really like the idea of keeping track. And yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. I hope to do 5,000 stitches a month is kind of my goal. That's kind of where I got the number based on, I gave myself like three extra years or something from what I calculated if I did 5,000 stitches a month. So quite a bit of leeway, but you know, I'm going to have off years, I'm going to have off months, I'm going to, you know, I'm not always going to hit 60,000 stitches in a year. So I wanted to do some hedgeway for that. The way I'm going to differ from how the Ultimate Cross Stitch group calculates stitches, they say each bead is only a half stitch. I'm going to count that as a full stitch because I do both legs of the cross when I do beads, and beads are difficult. They're not fun, so I'm not going to only give myself half credit for beads. I'm going to give myself full credit. Back stitch is supposed to be half a stitch, but I still might count that as a full stitch because it's just easier for when I'm counting and using my calculator to not put in like 0.5s and stuff like that. I prefer whole numbers. So, and since it's my own created event for myself, whatever, I'm going to do what I want to do. So those are the only things I really have to update you guys with. I hope to get in about 800 stitches before the end of the month. So I have a couple days to do that. 3, I think. I just really like to cross 5,000 before the end of the month. So with that said, I'm going to go get stitching. I'm going to go take my walk around the apartment complex, 5 laps, right? And yeah, I look forward to watching your guys' videos. I've been watching more than I ever have before, and I love them all. I was watching Dena, the half cross stitch. I was watching her today, and she's awesome. Like, I love the cadence of her voice. She's just very soothing. I love her projects. I love how she does little updates every time she changes projects, and then she strings it all together. If I could figure out how to edit these videos, I would probably do that, but I am very not tech savvy. So, yeah, so, and I change my projects too much. Like, there's the possibility I'll work on all 3 projects tonight. I don't know what's gonna happen. But, so, yes, gonna go take my lac and come back and stitch. And, I just want to thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!